You made it to the end. Let's recap what we talked about real quickly. We talked about the fundamentals, how to set up your agency, LLCs, taxes, all that fun stuff. We talked about selecting your market positioning, the who, or identifying your ideal client profile or your ICP, how to create an offer that your ICP cannot refuse. Then we talked a little about how to learn and build the skills and put together a service around your offer that can deliver on that promise of acquisition and make more money. And then I gave you some tips on how to get your first client. Now let's talk a little bit about what's next, because surely that is not everything that goes into building a multi-million-dollar agency. So at the Blueprint Training, this is really what we specialize in doing, is taking agencies that have experience or that have a client, a couple of clients, and really helping you break through and get to that next level of scale. One of the core focuses of our program is offer design, positioning, really identifying that ICP. We really work with you one-on-one to make sure you can get those things dialed in. We've got a series of workbooks. We've got a series of exercises that you go through to really understand who that ICP is, validate that ICP, and then put together a killer offer. Then we help you a lot with service productization. What should you offer? How should you offer it? How should you structure it? Paid search, SEO, website design, what are all the elements that should be in there? And then how do you turn that into a series of systems and processes so that the service can run without you? And it makes it much easier to bring people in and hire them to manage the client delivery for you. Now, after we've got through all that, again, you've got your offer done, you got your positioning dialed in, you've got your service lined up and ready to go with systems, processes, and a done project plan that you can just copy and paste for every new client. Now it's really time to go out and start building the business. And we do that through marketing. We got to go out and create demand. And that starts before social media, before YouTube, before blogging, whatever it is that you choose to do. You got to have a thesis. You've got to have a unique proposition that your agency stands for. So I like to call it a thesis. It's just a unique point of view, but it's really what you build all your marketing and communications around. So for example, for us at our agency Webriss, working with attorneys, we're all about driving new cases. And then all the things that come off the back of driving cases. We talk about our thesis is that a lot of what other agencies are doing has not evolved over time. It's not enough to just do SEO or pay-per-click or all these different things in a silo. You've got to have a very structured approach to taking over and dominating the entire search engine, local service ads, local search, pay-per-click, content marketing. You need to do all those things in conjunction to really have an opportunity to get the quality cases into your law firm. So our thesis is all about that, and all the content that we create dials directly back to that thesis and our unique point of view and our argument. And then this ties easily into a sales pitch that they're much more receptive for, because they feel like we've got an edge. They feel like we know something that the other agencies don't, because we're pitching something that they're not pitching, and we're communicating in a way that they're not communicating it. And we're really doing the same service. We're just packaging it and communicating it much differently. And it's super, super important if you really want to grow your agency with ease, is you've got to understand your ICP, and you've got to figure out how to communicate that through content marketing, creation and marketing, and then building a sales team. Another big one is that when you first get started, you're going to be doing everything. And then gradually you'll get out of operations, gradually you get out of finances. The last frontier is really getting out of sales. You should not be selling if you are an agency owner. There's way too much going on that you need to be focused on. And whether you believe it or not, because I know you probably don't at this point, but you've got to hire a salesperson, and likely a BDR too, somebody that can kind of manage your outbound sales, because outbound sales becomes even more important as you want to scale. So we work with agencies to really help you find, hire, train a salesperson that can come in and sell whatever complicated service that you're offering. And then a lot of creating demand through marketing. I just spoke about this a little bit, right? First, we want to flesh out the ICP, and then we want to go into social media. We want to go into content creation for LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube and maybe a blog, and really how to build out the right website, because you don't need a million pages, but you need the right pages. So we've got a really good template that we provide to all our agency clients in the blueprint. And then how to use paid traffic to book appointments. It's kind of like the last level of scale from a marketing point of view. First, we want to start with social, content creation, do some outbound sales, and then we want to pepper on paid traffic once your agency can afford to pay for ads comfortably, and really just pour gasoline on the whole client acquisition process. And the final piece, the most important piece in my opinion, is people, because your agency is only going to go as far as the people that you have inside of it. You are only going to be able to take it so far, and until you start bringing on people, you don't really have an agency. You've got a consultancy. You've almost got a job in a sense, because when you're reporting directly back to a client, it's kind of like reporting back to a boss. So people is how you build those layers. It's how you build these elements of scale. It's how you pull yourself out of the business. It all comes down to people, because you cannot do everything yourself. So really helping you identify what are the roles that you need, what skills that they need to have, how can you find these people, how can you train these people. And how can you make sure that you're constantly pushing your agency forward and hitting these plateaus that all agencies hit? Whether you're at 1 client or 100 client, there's different plateaus. And the way that you break through those plateaus is innovation. You got to be constantly innovating your offer, constantly innovating your service, constantly looking at your unique market position, how you're communicating that. These are all things that we foster inside of the Blueprint training. So if you're interested, there's a link below. You got to talk to one of us, one of our growth specialists. We'll just talk to you about your agency, where you're at, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. And if not, we got tons of free content that you can continue to enjoy. But if so, we're going to make a lot of money together. So hit that link and we will talk soon.